currently in Winneba. We are trying to get you the places where you can visit anytime you come to Winneba. Towards the Osimpam Heritage Center. For today?
I don't know. I've been to Winneba a few times, but to go see any of the historical sites, we never stopped and did it. But today is a good time to do that. See what all they have, what's going on in Winneba, you know?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if today happens to be your first time, kindly subscribe, share, and then comment whether you like the video or not. Let's go through Winneba.
Go left.
Yeah. Let's pull over and speak to somebody. Yeah, this is the Osimpam Heritage Center. We're now entering the Heritage Center. This is Osimpam Heritage Center in Winneba. Let's go in.
The tall guy.
I'm Brown.
Wow.
I'm from America.
America. Okay.
I'm a giant.
Ghana from Ghana. Okay. So, before we talk about Aboakyer Festival, I want us to consider the migration. So the people of Efutu migrated from Songhai Empire. Currently is a combination of Mali and Saudi Mauritania. So they migrated from there and arrived at Pintik in the early part of the 12th century. So from Timbuktu, the Timbuktu is part of Mali.
Okay.
You can find Timbuktu in Mali.
Right.
Yeah. So from Timbuktu, they wandered around along with other people and settled for a time in the ancient and famous city Techiman, presently Brongahamfo. So upon reaching the coast, they inclined west and settled at Efutu, a town presently situated between Cape Coast and Jokwa. The word Efutu simply means mixed up people of different ethnic groups, customs and traditions.
Right.
So, due to the autocratic rule of one of their leaders, Akraman, and the pressure from the Fanti who have arrived at the area, the Futus, under the leadership of Edri, Jan and Kufuisi, also known as Osimpam. So the Osimpam, the name Simpa is Osimpam. That is the one who founded this place. The actual name is Osimpam, but people usually call it Simpa. So that is how, yeah. So they were led by these three leaders, and they settled at a coast known as Joma. There is a coast, I think, when you are coming from before Cape Coast. Apam.
Yeah,
right? Yes, Apam. Yeah. So at Joma, they settled. Some of the people, because there were many, some settled over there. Others decided to continue the journey. So Osimpam, the elder of the twin brother, assumed leadership for a group who decided to move further east. So it is believed that this group stole the god Otu, that is the main god who led them to this place. He is known as Otu. The people believe that this group stole the god Otu and moved eastwards. So Osimpam and his followers one morning saw a misty top of a hill, which they thought was a settlement of people making their early morning fire. Upon reaching the hill, they found no one, and they continued their journey. But they saw a smoke. The smoke, they thought it was a group of people who were making their early morning fire. So they said in their own language, that is the Futu language, Ayeomaku. It simply means look at the town over there. So when they got there, no one was there, so they decided to continue their journey. Soon they got sight of a large stretch of water, which they thought was good for drinking. Upon reaching the water, they tasted it and spat it out. It was salty. So in dismay, they said Boni. Boni in the Futu language simply means hard water or salty water.
Salty.
Yes. So this discovery happened on Wednesday. So the Boni Lagoon, which usually people call it Moni Lagoon, the actual name is Boni, hard water or salty water, Boni Lagoon, but people usually call it Moni. It is found in the eastern part of Winneba. Okay. So Osimpan and his lieutenant persevered. They pressed on until they found a suitable place for a settlement just at the foot of a hill, which later became known as Alatapokodo. There is a place just here, adjacent to the palace. So that is where they first settled. After their settlement, the god, that is the Penchotu, and the stool which symbolized the soul of Winneba, were kept at Otuano. So that is the first place where the people or the elders of Simpa settled. Later, the god became known as Pencho Otu. The Penche is a corruption of Preche. Preche simply means land here or stop here. It's a Futu language. Stop here or land here. After their settlement, the king sent out scouts to go and search for a drinkable water, where they chanced on Ayensu River. The name Ayensu is a corruption of Aniyensu. It's a Futu language. Aniyen, which simply means we've got water. So yes, so Ayensu is still the river from which Winneba gets its potable water. Okay, so that is all for the migration. So let's look at the Aboakyer Festival itself. Aboakyer Festival, the natives of Simpa adore in Akodia, main god Otu, for leading the ancestors from Tumbutu to their present settlement. Oral record indicate that all along their route, along their migration, the elders propitiated the deity for all forms of protection against the numerous challenges that confronted them, including diseases and hunger. At their present location, the annual rites were performed by the elders of Simpa. Pencho Otu and his sons did enjoy human sacrifice, but this had to change with the dawning of civilization. Slaves were kept for these purposes, but the gruesomeness of the rituals created social concern that led to the consultation with the god for more human alternative. The alternative leopard or lion was difficult to capture because the capture of a single animal resulted in the loss of many more lives. It was also noted by them that the able-bodied men among the Jetta family would have deserted town. Eventually, the life there became practicable and most acceptable substitute, probably before or during the reign of King Bonzehina in the mid-1400s. All this while, the propitiation and the preparation of Dambusia was the sole preserve of the elders of Otuano. So the capture of the live deer, like the leopard, required many more hands than the members of the royal family could find. So additional hands required were solicited from the local militia as a service to the stew. So the change in form, the involvement of the local militia, and the appeasement of the god became public and statewide affair. So this marked the birth and hence the origin of the Aboakyer Festival. The beauty of the Aboakyer Festival can be attributed to the development of the Asafo into hierarchical institution, purposely for providing the king with a live deer annually to propitiate the deity of the Futu state, that is Penchotu. So let's look at how this militia or the Asafo came into being. The Asafo, we have Tuafo and Dentifo. We have the Tuafo and Dentifo. So we have a king who ruled from 1560 to 1600s. He created Asafo and named it Akonfol, which later became known as Tuafo. Later, he was succeeded by his own son, King Bonzesielu. He ruled from 1600s to 1666. He also created Asafo, named it Dentefo. And he also chose a new house. You know, the first one, they have their own house, that is Otuano. Yes, that is their house. But this one, they also have their own house known as Pieto. Pieto is like chamber and hall. So the chamber belongs to the first Asafo, that is Tuafo, and the hall belongs to the Dentefo. Okay, so you also appointed and established Tufuhin Stool to serve as a liaison chief between the Asafo and the paramountcy. So because they were created by two different kings, even though they were from the same family, they have some differences. Then the Tuafo, they are divided into three. We have a Nyumpa, that is the eldest, the Insan, that is those in the middle, and the Assam, they are the youngest. So during procession and expedition, that is during the festival, when you see them, realize that the Asafo is led by the Assam, that is the youngest among them, followed by the Insan, that is the middle, and then the Enyumpa, they are behind. The same applies to the Dentefo. So they also have people called Supi. We have Supi, we have Safohene, then we have Kubaye who support the Safohene. So we have musical instruments that they use. They use different musical instruments. The Tuafu use rattle, giggle, and 3-in-1 gong. And the Dentefo use bell and 2-in-1 gong. They also have some fabrics that they wear during festival. The Tuafo, they wear white, green, blue, and violet. But usually they wear white. So if you look at the pictures, you realize that some people are wearing white, others are also wearing red. So they have other colors, but basically what they use is white. And then we have the Dentefo, they wear red, yellow, pink with black. And then we have what we call Asafo dance. Asafo dance, the Tuafo perform what we call Akosua. They perform Akosua, and there is a history behind it. I was told that during their long migration, Akosua, the grandchild of Pamina Jete, who was the first king then. She was the grandchild of that man. So the men among them, after a hard day's work, this lady, the men would drum and this lady would dance to entertain them. Hence the name Akosua. So they just created a dance and they decided to use the name to call that dance. Yeah, and the Dentefo, they perform a 1 meal. For them, they don't have any history behind it. But we have 2 flutes. That is on Saturday, we have 2 flutes. The 2 flutes, you realize that during procession and expedition, you realize that the Safohene of the Tuafo, he will sit at the back of a wooden horse. So let me show you the horse. It's not a live horse. There is a wheel and the reins.
Okay.
So when the Safohene sit on the horse, they push it and then it moves.
Okay.
Yes. And our current king, Neigati, yes. Neigati the 7th.
we are done with our tour here. We are moving down to downtown Winneba. That is where the Ferry Nukweja statue is. Let's go. Basically, this is how every downtown, when I say downtown, I mean places around the coast. This is how it looks like when you come to Cape Coast. The same thing most of the community along the coast looks like everywhere you go in Ghana here. Not too soon, we are here, the statue of the Ferry Nukweja.
This is a Ferry Nukweja. So it was known that he was the first fisherman in Ghana. He was the first fisherman in Ghana. And they said it got to a point where the president of Ghana, there was a president who was ruling. He asked so many people to come to parliament so that they would know whether they should give them salary every month. So I was told that most people who work like individual workers and other people who work for the government assembled at the parliament. But this man refused to go. They said if he had been there, then fishermen would have taken salary every month, because he also bargain, or he also talk about it and force for the government to pay them. But he didn't go. He decided not to go. They said that particular day, he was a very strong man. He alone took his own canoe and went for fishing. So the government decided that he will give, or he will pay most of those who went to parliament to bargain, to force for a salary every month. He gave them some salary, but for the fishermen, yes, were independent. They had to do their own thing, account for themselves, and get their own money. Yes. So that is the story behind this Ferry Nukweja. They mounted this to commemorate him for what he has done for Ghana. The idea he brought on board for the fishermen, that for the first time he was able to craft something like a boat or something like a canoe for fishing. It was not like that in those days, but he brought that idea. So that is the idea that people have bought over the years to go for fishing.
Still using it.
In the skills, some of the skills used, he also invented it.
We are done with a tour at the most decorated Fisherman, that is Ferry Nukweja's statue or monument in Winneba. We are heading towards the Unity Square.
We are almost there.
So we are finally here. There is a Unity Square.
We came back here earlier.
Yeah.
Unity Square, as you can see, you have monuments, there are some carvings and pictures over here.
Okay.
They all represent something. For these three men, the two standing, each represent one of the two Asafo groups in Winneba.
Okay.
The one in the middle is a mediator, helping or assisting the men to raise the flags of Simba. So it was purposely built to promote peace, unity, and development in Winneba. And this place as well was built by Honorable Aboakyer. So let me explain the symbols on the walls for you. This deer that you see, it tells us a story that Winnebarians are deer hunters. We started with human sacrifice, then moved to lion, from lion to a deer. The one on your right hand side, I told you that you have two Asafo groups. The Asafo of the Tuafo Asafo, he sits at the wooden horseback during procession and expedition. And the Safohene of the Dentifo, the one on your left, he and his men put a crew on a wooden ship. And for the musical instrument, I told you that the Dentifo use bell and three-in-one gong. And the Tuafo use rattle, bugle, and three-in-one gong. So all these ones symbolizes or it represents some instruments and other things that Winneba have or Winneba use during their festival. Yes.
So this is Unity Square in the center of Winneba. We are on our way to Akosua village and then the Fisherman Square in Winneba. This is the Ghana Police Depot for cadets and officers.
Akosua village. And we are here to look at the monuments here. I think, of course, Akosua village is part of Winneba, but most of the people here, they are Ewes. And so if you look at the monument, realize that you can see three people. The first one is called Afejinu. The second person is called Pwede, or Pwede, as it depends on how you see the spelling. The last man is called Togbe. It's called Togbe. So these three people, they founded Akosua village, and their main occupation was fishing. But theirs is different from how people use canoe. So theirs is open cast net, where they throw the net into the sea, and after some hours, they pull the net outside and take out the fishes out of the net. That was their main occupation. So most cases, if you meet one or two people and you ask their name, realize that their name is not like the name that Winnebarians bear. Winnebarians, if you meet them, either you hear of Gati, Sechi, you hear of a name like Jan. But here, like I mentioned, the names of these people, that is the similar name that you hear from them. So their lifestyle and their culture is somehow different from the Winnebarians. Yes.
People marry, like with the guy in the middle, will he marry a female of his?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. So it's like how it happened in Bible, that you can even marry your uncle's daughter or your brother's daughter. They do it. They do it. That is how
Okay.
come you see many people here. There were few when they came, but intermarriages has made them increased the population here. You can even descend to the seaside and feel the breeze.
Oh yeah, the breeze was yesterday when you left. But it was afternoon. I went we would have found that place before we got a room, because the room was cheaper, and I definitely believe it was. But now we know. When it was East
We are currently at Akosua village, that is one of the communities in Winneba, and this is the monument here, Fisherman Square, and that is the health center, Akosua Clinic. They also have a community center here. It's likely for you to see a fence or a wall like this when you go to the area communities in Ghana. Most of them, this is how they fence their buildings or put up a wall. They use the palm nut leaves. This is the beach.
So how they get the net out? They take a boat and take the net way out and then drop it and pull it back in? Okay.
Royal Cemetery in Winneba.
Yes. So the Gate family, most of the kings who died in Winneba, I mean those who belong to the Asafo, most of them were buried here, including the women who were queen mothers and held other positions. They were all buried in this place.
Okay.
Yes. So any king who ruled and died will surely be buried here.
Right here.
Just in the middle of the city.
Yeah. We call it Aboakyer.
Oh, okay. Aboakyer.
Most of the whites
Were
who
buried
died
here.
in Winneba were buried here.
Oh, okay. This is the Aboakyer, which literally means that this is where the whites were buried when they were in Winneba here. Sorry, the place is bushy, but then this is where the whites were buried. So it is called a white cemetery or Aboakyer in our local dialect.
Who were priests? Most of the whites were priests at the Methodist church. So when they stay here for a very long time and they die, this is where they bury them.
A landing beach in Winneba.
Remind me of Cape Coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know where we go down there and buy the fish?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remind me of that. They're on 1 month vacation though. Their money's almost up and they'll be back out there fishing again.
Yes, yeah.
Today, now, this is the time period where they just restoring all the equipment, making sure when August 1st comes, we can eat some tilapia. This way, this way.
Is it?
Go around and around and around.
Oh, young girl. This is a posthumous reconciliation
Okay.
between J.B. Dankwa and Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay. First president.
Yeah, they were two political allies.
Okay.
Yeah, they were two political allies who joined for the struggle of Ghana's independence. But later on, they became rivals, torn apart by different ideological differences. Yes. So, J.B. Dankwa was a lawyer for a State. And Nkrumah, when he was sent from Europe to Ghana, one of the places he settled was Winneba.
Winneba?
Even though there's a difference in ideologies, but this should not destroy the people or destroy the development of Ghana. So he just mounted this one to reconcile the group who belong to these two ideological people.
Right.
Yes.